if you do live in the trees and never thought that solar would really work for you, we've got some options there. We don't have to put the solar array on the roof of your home. We can ground mount the modules adjacent to your home. Here at the Peters house, they had fun. It was a little bit different in that we came up to their beautiful house up in the pine here, and we couldn't make solar work. There was just shading is an issue with solar. We cannot tolerate any kind of shading on our modules. So I really gave up and said, I'm sorry guys, we just can't do this. But Becky is tenacious, and she said, come back, we have 10 acres here, let's walk around some more. So we did just that and found an opening about almost 1,000 feet from the house on a hillside. And we had to remove some trees. We had to say goodbye to a number of beautiful ponderosa, but we got a nice solar window from the key is 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock to have good sun exposure. And we found a spot and trenched across with the backhoe, and cabling our modules work at pretty high voltages nowadays, so we can go farther than we used to. Anyhow, so it worked out beautifully in that we were able to put the array on one end of the 10 acres and on the other end of is the house.
Okay, hi, I'm Becky Peters, and we are so happy with SBS Solar because we have wanted solar for a long time. We've had 3 different sessions of people coming up and checking for our shade and our trees and which trees we needed to cut down. And then when we went through all of that, nope, can't be done. So we had Dan come out, and he looked at our property and he goes, no, not going to work. And then I was still sad about that because I definitely want solar. This is for our grandchildren, and this is one of our things that we're adamant about, is that we leave the world a better place. So I said to Bill, did Dan look at the south hill that we have, our south-facing hill? And he said no, and he said, well, get him back here. So we had Dan come back up again, and he goes, oh yes, this will work. And we're going, but how can you run all the cable and everything that far? And he said, we can now. And so we're very happy with it. They did it a year ago in December. It was freezing out, and I felt sorry for them, and I took them hot thermoses of tea because they were working in the cold with that metal, and everything was fantastic. They had to do the concrete pouring in the cold, and it took a lot of work, and everybody learned a lot, and we couldn't be happier.
So this is a ground-mounted solar array. Advantages of ground-mounted are, you can remove the snow easier. They're lower to the ground. But we do have additional costs when we come to a ground-mounted system because we're creating that structure with concrete and steel and such, where if we can use the roof of a house, we don't need to provide that structure. We use the structure of the home and of the roof to support the modules. The modules are not that heavy, 2.5 pounds per square foot. So they're pretty light, really. So in this instance, we mounted the inverter on a set of posts close to the meter. And so we really didn't have anything come to the house exactly. As long as we can tap into the main electric power of the home or the business, the solar power will just automatically go into the house, access the home, and also the grid to backfeed the grid.